So if you have one of these, a Shark Openspot 3 by SharkRF, it's a great little hotspot to travel with and has its own internal battery. The issues, though, however, is the fact that after so many years, that lithium-ion battery that's in there is going to not be as good anymore. In fact, mine only lasts for a couple of hours. But if you do the research and you go to SharkRF and you go to buy a replacement battery, you could probably get it with the exchange rate anywhere between $26 and $32. The biggest thing is they want $109 to ship it from Estonia. So I looked for another alternative. I've heard, and I'll give a little credit in the credits below, one of the guys from the Coffee and Ham Radios also mentioned this battery availability. So I went to Digikey, and inside this giant box they shipped me this small battery, and I will give the part numbers for that and where you can get it, and I'm going to attempt to replace the one that's in my Openspot 3. So let's see how well it works out. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get this thing open. So how do you open this case? You'll notice the indentation on the one end near where there's a hole if you were going to put a lanyard on this, and just pop the case open right there. Get it open enough that you can pry at the rest with your hands on each side. And just be careful because there is a connecting cable going to that top part of the case where you're up near the top where it says Openspot 3. Just be careful, there is a connecting cable there. The piece in that top is actually the antenna that you're using for the Openspot 3. Now you can leave that connected and then remove the board if you want to. It's just a very small connection that's there at the top going to that antenna. Now that connector for the antenna will pull straight off. You could use a pair of needle nose pliers, or you can just literally just pop that off with your fingers, and that will become disconnected and separate. Then I use I think it's a T6H Torx little screwdriver, and pull out the 4 screws that hold the board in. I'll take those screws and I will put them aside. So we'll need it for reassembly later. Now I should have mentioned too, the trickiest part really in my opinion for this whole thing, and I know people have ruined them, is this connector here with the cables that go to the battery. A lot of people want to pull that out. It actually pulls straight up. So be very careful when you're removing this connector. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And I'll make sure I pull straight up. And then out. And then there it is. That battery is now disconnected from the main board. Remember, up, not straight down. You want to pull straight up on that cable. Very important. And after performing that task, we can go ahead and be careful about these line up with the main case. We'll take care of that when we come out, and just take this board out. Now you have exposed the battery and the cable. Now it's important to note that this battery I got from Digikey, the replacement, is not wired the same. I mean, doesn't have the connector on it. It isn't going to be just a simple plug and play. What you're going to end up doing is matching the colors on this battery. We're going to clip this cable off, and then we're going to take and splice the cable from the other battery and splice, and we're going to heat sink the connections on there, red for red, yellow for yellow, black for black. One thing I should note for this process is that this battery, it doesn't just pop out. It's actually it's got an adhesive underneath, so you're going to have to apply some heat underneath this battery, which I'll do with a heat gun, and to kind of loosen that adhesive so I can get that out of there. So instead of a full-blown heat gun, I decided to use a hair dryer to get it as warm as possible. I don't want to do any damage to the plastic case, so I'm going to heat it as much as I can, enough that I can get the battery out. now that I've applied some heat, let's see if we can't see if it's warm. Let's see if we can't get that battery out a little bit easier. Make this a little bit easier process. Definitely feels a little looser than it did before. Oh yeah, that made the difference. And we'll get this battery out without doing any damage to it. I can feel that adhesive underneath there. And there we go. Voila. Battery is now out. You can see the adhesive down in the bottom that was holding it in. Now it's going to be when we're going to take this new battery, and you see it's got a completely different connector on it, and that's okay. We're going to take and cut that connector off. Same with on the original battery, and we're going to match the colors up completely, and we're going to put those wires together, do a little soldering, and then separate those, and then heat shrink it, and we'll put the new battery in there. Now I should note my original battery, which wasn't lasting for very long at all, is 3.7 volts, 1200 milliamp hours. The new battery I'm using, 3.7 volts, 700 milliamp hours. So for as much as long as the this other battery, which was on its last leg, was lasting, this will last considerably longer. But it's a much cheaper alternative. But it is a 700 milliamp hour battery as opposed to a 1200. Now I will start the cutting off of the cables one at a time. And then I want to remove the cables and connector from the original battery. And then I'm going to have to strip and solder and splice the two together so I can put this connector on the new battery. So I didn't want to bore you with watching me work with these small wires and soldering each one together, matching of course black to black, red to red, yellow to yellow, because I'm getting a little bit older and it's a little tougher for me to work with the smaller wires. So I did that. I got those together. Those were all taped up individually, and then use a little heat shrink to hold the entire piece together. I think I'm just going to use the adhesive that's already in there because it still feels pretty strong to hold this battery in, and I'll put this battery in place and we'll get it wired up. Oh, I placed it on there. The adhesive in there that was in there is still pretty strong. Got my cable here, and easiest way to remember when you go to put this cable on the board when it goes in is that the red is on the inside. So you'll want to, after you hide some of the cabling from the battery, inside the bottom of the case, you're going to make sure that you're going to give enough room for the battery to plug into the connector. I'm going to screw the board back into the case, and then we'll connect the battery connector up. Now that I have that board installed, I'm going to put my antenna back on. That's just simply lining this connector, and it is small. Lining it back up with the board, and then once you have it lined up, push it on there. You'll feel it lock on there. I can connect the battery up, which remember goes straight down. And I can already see that it's turned back on. And I will go ahead and put my case back on. Got to make sure you get those two little switches lined up there. There we go. Snap back together. And now powered on. Look at that. There's your do-it-yourself Openspot 3 battery installation. I'll have to do some testing, see how long this 700 milliamp hour new battery runs, but it's going to run a lot better than the pretty much wasted 1200 milliamp battery that was in there. Thanks for watching.